My name is Fabian Rodriguez. I am the Director of Coaching of ABK Futsal Academy and also the head coach of the ABK Men's Pro Team.
What motivated you to start teaching futsal in Grand Rapids?
The reason behind us playing futsal, I think, is a little bit different now than our thoughts of using futsal to train at the very beginning. Originally, when we first started using futsal, we used it as a training tool to help develop our players technically and teaching them new 1v1 skills or techniques through the game of futsal. So the biggest motivation is knowing and seeing the benefits of the game of futsal with professional players now, or seeing the difference between players who play futsal and players who don't.
Você tem chance de ser um futuro Robinho ou excelente jogador. Você acredita nisso? É?
More and more futsal we did, the more we realized that it isn't just a skills game. It's a lot more than that. It's a completely different sport.
In the years that you've been teaching futsal now and coaching all the teams, what's your most memorable moment as a coach for ABK Pro?
For me, the first bigger moment with our men's team was winning nationals a couple years ago. Also, the opportunities that we've had to take players to the PFL combines. The first one in Dallas was huge, a huge moment, and a proud moment, because a lot of our players who attended did well, including a few players who were selected out of the PFL combine to participate in the pro events. The players who were successful in those events are all players who grew up playing through ABK. Were part of our first experiences in futsal, and now to get to see them grow up and play at a higher level is, I think, really what represents ABK. And knowing that those guys are still very, very young and still with a lot to learn, it just keeps at least me motivated to continue to do what I do as a coach. So I think those are the most proud moments up until this point.
ABK is considered by a lot of people to be one of the top youth futsal academies in the country. What pieces, what people, what elements have helped ABK get to that point in such a short time?
Obviously, futsal is a completely different sport than soccer, and very similar in many ways. But I feel from the very beginning, where we started coaching the outdoor game, we were setting a style that was very similar to futsal, and it was an easy transition for us to take outdoor players into a futsal environment rather than taking just soccer athletes and teaching them the game of futsal. I think that's where we had an advantage at the very beginning, is it wasn't that hard of a transition into futsal. The success we've had so far with ABK is the awareness of futsal now in Grand Rapids and the support that we have for our tryouts every year. We're attracting more and more players. We're not just drawing players from Grand Rapids, but the cities that surround Grand Rapids, and we have the support from a few different players from different clubs on each team now, that I believe is bringing more strengths to our teams. And all the time that the players spend training, attending regional and national tournaments, are giving all our players experiences, learning how to play against different futsal styles. Every club that we play against plays a little bit differently, and I think every time we experience playing against a different club, we're getting that much stronger, because we're facing and seeing things that we normally don't see at the local level of futsal.
So with everything that ABK's already accomplished, players attending combines, a lot of international friendlies, youth teams doing well, what's next for ABK? What can people expect next?
We have new plans and a new structure for next year for ABK youth teams. Starting off with all players selected to play on our ABK Academy teams will play with no club cost. So it will be completely free as far as club fees go. We'll continue to form teams beyond our academy teams to continue to develop players and give players the same opportunities to compete locally and regionally, and some teams possibly at the national level. We are working hard to bring a professional futsal franchise starting next year and preparing for the professional futsal league that will start in 2017. I think bringing a professional franchise to Grand Rapids and it being part of ABK will finish off that last step that our players can take, going all the way through the youth levels from the youngest to 18, and giving those players an opportunity to continue a career if that's what they want to do.
What does ABK mean to Grand Rapids?
ABK to Grand Rapids, I believe, means an opportunity. I think right now the players involved in ABK and supporting ABK, if it's either being part of a team or coming out to watch some of our men's and women's games, it all comes down to the opportunity to be part of something special, to be part of something that is going to continue to grow. I believe that futsal is something that is still in its beginning stages, but has so much potential, and the more people that really understand the benefits of futsal will really jump on board now and really take advantage of being part of the growth of futsal.